Welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be working on this pile of sticks. More specifically, these are 2 or 3 year old Trident Maples that I've been growing for the last year, and that prior to that were started by a friend of mine, Dylan. And I've gone through and done the rough root work on all of these, as well as clipping back most of the side branches. And what I'm planning on doing with them is to create small clumps of trees so that I can make trident maple copse or small forests or clumps, however you want to term it. If we don't start this type of material, we will never have good maple clumps. All right, so I just randomly grabbed 6 of these trees, and as I'm looking at them, there is some slight variation in the size of the trunks, but there's also quite a few here that are, they're all pretty similar. And so as we work on these compositions moving forward, I'm going to want to kind of pick a tree that I want to be the main tree in the composition, or 2 trees that I want to be sort of the main 2 trees, depending on the size of the composition, and allow them to run and have a little bit more of a sacrifice branch while keeping the other trees under control. So just like I do when I put together Zelkova forests in the past, I'm going to use a little bit of wire to stabilize the trees into pairs. Now with these stabilized into pairs, I have the basis or foundational sort of aspect of clumps of trees. And I could put 2 of these into a composition together, but they're all kind of similar. So I'm actually going to grab some more trees and use a different technique in order to make other clumps of 2 that I can then pair with these and add a 5th tree. So notice what I've done here with this second batch, and that is I've still anchored the trees together using a piece of wire, but I've left a bigger gap here. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want more flexibility in terms of the spacing between the 2. So the first 3 pairs that I made were right next to each other, but if you make the spacing that regular, it won't look good in the final composition. So with these, I left a little bit more space, and in order to change the amount of spacing, I can either fold the wire, kind of making a little dent so that I can bring them together, or I can just rotate one of them to put a little bit more wire around that tree. Now, obviously with this technique, the most important thing to remember is that you cannot leave this wire on for very long. You need to allow the trees to leaf out, which they're already sort of starting to do in this case, and then run a little bit, but watch the wire like a hawk, because you don't want wire scars on the lower trunk of a trident maple. In each case, I'm going to do 3 of these compositions, and in each case I'm going to put 5 trees together, and then I'm going to put them in these 1-gallon grow bags. You can use any container you want. The grow bags are useful for not having circling roots, but trees tend to grow a little bit faster, particularly deciduous trees, in hard-sided plastic containers or terracotta. Obviously, if they get into the ground, they're going to grow even faster than that. So I went ahead and put a wire that's just attached around one tree, obviously to allow me to stabilize it with the other 2 pairs. And I'm going to grab one of the pairs that has the longer space between it and one of the pairs that has the shorter space between it, and try to come up with a configuration here that looks kind of interesting, natural, not too artificial in terms of spacing, and then adjust spacing as needed while I try to stabilize it in the pot here. Now you may be thinking to yourself, well, that doesn't look that great, or it's too even, or all of the trees are straight up and down. This is a starting point, and I actually think that I could get, maybe this tree a little bit closer to that one. The interesting thing I think about trident forests and maple forest in general, and I shouldn't even say forest, I should say clumps, is that over time all of the roots knit together. So what you see in old compositions is that there's actually sort of a common nabari across all of the trees together. So this is still a starting point, and I would probably a year or two from now, as these start to mature, add maybe a couple of smaller, younger trees in certain places if I wanted a 7-tree composition, 9, 10, 11, or whatever. All right. I think that's fairly stable. If I was concerned about it not being stable, I've used lava on the top here to help with stabilizing it. And if I was concerned about it not being stable enough, I could also top guy it by punching a couple of holes into the bag and using some wire. So I'm going to set this one aside and do a second one. So with the second one, I've put them a little bit closer together and let them splay out a little bit. So with variations like this, you just get forests of slightly different feelings or clumps of slightly different feeling to them. One might feel a little bit more formal, while the other one feels a little bit more informal or natural, or however you want to phrase it. So let me set this aside and I'll do one more. All right, so here is my third attempt completed, and maybe it's somewhere between the first one and the second one in the sense that the spacing's not quite as close, but there's a little bit of a splay to the trees. Now, when you have size differentials like this, and if you want to keep those differentials the way that they are, meaning you're not going to try to grow this tree to be larger than this tree or whatever, you can also just sort of cut back to start creating the shape of the forest. So I'm going to just sort of demonstrate that I've cut the smaller ones a little bit shorter here, and I'll do the same thing over here, leaving the two thicker trunks a little bit taller, because that's typically what we see in forests and tends to look the most logical to your eye. Nevertheless, this is going to change over time, as are the other two, and so it's not a final sort of determination of the height of the tree. I will wait to see how these bud out. All right, now with all three of them in front of you, you can kind of compare, and you see how like these trunks are really much more parallel to each other than the trunks in this composition. But the base of these is a little bit closer together than in here. From this point forward, I really want to start treating these trees as if they are one tree from a rootwork perspective. So I want those roots to knit together, and then I'm going to start creating that common nabari that over time is going to get really beautiful and create a lot of the age in the composition. The other thing I have to think about is that just like any other maple, these are not going to bud between node points. And because they were vigorously growing for the first couple of years of their life, that means that I would never get buds between, say, here and here. Now, the way I can remedy that is to cut these back and use a smaller side branch to continue, as long as that side branch has shorter inner nodes. Then obviously the other thing that you could do is grafting or many other techniques, but just keep that in mind as you're working with the trees. If I look at these, a lot of these node points are very similar on these three trees, and that can cause problems in terms of getting the composition to look more natural over time. So I'll come back and revisit these as they begin to grow in the spring. If you want to pick up some bare root Trident Maples in packs of 5. I'm going to make some available on the website. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.